Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the WCS Global Finals here as we are wrapping up our group stage today to find out which players are going to be moving through into the round of 8. I'm Kyle Aris, your host.
Blizzcon is fun for us, but it's really brutal for the players.
Yeah. Kevin and I are really nervous. That's why we wore matching shirts.
You were nervous, so you wore
And I've been holding hands backstage as well.
Haz is this beautiful lightning bug that was caught in a jar about 6 months ago, and ever since then his light's kind of gone out. Like, that is the nature of this. Some of the crew laughed at that. It was unfortunate.
And it looks like there's going to be actually those 3 Marauders hidden inside the medevac coming across the map.
Yeah, TY's trying to be as surprising as possible here. With the Viking being landed, Lambo knows that he's getting aggressive here. Diving on that Queen. Quick transfusion there from Lambo, but here come the Marauders with concussive shell. The Queens are not escaping.
That was such a nice move there from TY. That's something we have to keep an eye on for now. It's just the Raven, the Thors, the Hellions coming in, the Roaches and Hydras coming down. They're going to try and fight
Not
this.
many Zerg units.
Yeah, one Thor almost does go down. Lambo going to have to pull back for now, though. Those Zerglings re-engaging. The Queen's coming up. That Thor so low, but TY saves it with just a couple of hit points.
There's going to be a big Locust wave. TY is lifting whatever he can into this medevac, but there is not enough here.
Wow, that's a lot of Locusts, Maynard. The Roaches and Ravagers going to come in, and the Hellbats start to evaporate. Does take out 1 or 2 siege tanks as well before retreating.
Well, here comes the Locust wave. Lambo not giving him a second of breathing room here, and he's going for those tanks. Diving on top of the sieged ones up here to make some room for these Ravagers to come up the ramp. Finds another one being rallied in there. Looks like only one tank went down, but the Biles can connect on these two, clumped up together.
Ooh, finally the extra Biles are going to take down one, but not the other. Those siege tank shots landing all over these units. But, you know, I guess Lambo can afford a bit of a sloppy trade there.
But here come those Locusts. The Hellbats are body blocking for those tanks, though. Lambo's trying to find the ones in the back line that don't have Hellbat coverage. Pick up micro there from TY to pick up the unsieged tanks and put them somewhere else. But a lot of Zerg units coming in from the left. Lambo trying to push through this fourth phase again.
Wow.
He's looking good so far, though. Lambo muscles on through.
He is just rolling through this army. He's only got a couple of siege tanks. Lambo wants to force the fight right now.
And there is 50 extra army supply here for the Zerg. It is starting to plummet, though. Here come those Roaches from the left-hand side. The Biles connecting nice with these tanks. Lambo is doing damage, but not enough. TY pushes this back with his Marines. And he's going to get so much more of Lambo's army on the retreat.
And if you get up to that count, Zealot Stalker cannot actually compete with it.
Oh, look at those 2 Widow Mines as well. They're getting a couple of juicy hits off. I don't think the Zealot count is high enough at all. Maybe the multi-prong can get something done, but there are so many Marines and Marauders here. The tanks on the high ground are destroying these Stalkers.
Dark Templar can actually win you the game. He's going to go for the fight, though, against his Bioforce. He blinks forward on top of the tanks. It is only just the 2 tanks, but the Bioforce on the right side is evaporating the Zealots, and that is going to... Oh, the Widow Mine stealing heavy right hand to the majority of that force.
But if he's gonna fight his army, he's gonna need some miraculous dodges on those mine hits.
And he's gonna try to fight into not only the mines, but also these Liberators are set up here. The Terran Force is just stimming forward, and that's gonna be it. SOS is gonna jump in there. His own force field's kind of working against him. The Zealot's not really finding the pathing they want. There is 1 Immortal added into this fight, but the army supplies actually going a little bit in favor of SOS. Maybe the top of this ramp was the good call here. Upgrades okay. Medevac's still hanging around. Now the SCVs kind of pull forward.
Not many Zealots left, though. SOS needs a few more Zealots. He still has a little bit of money in the bank. 25 SCVs went down during all of this. There is a counterattack as well. Hero Marine needs to do more than he's done so far, because now he's suddenly very low in the SCV count.
SOS is going to scrap this out. It's close, but that fight was just too close, and the economic damage behind it. The Stalker's blink forward, and that was a horrific choice. I'm not sure why he did just that. He loses all the Stalkers essentially for free. The Liberator still stands, and these medevacs are over the top. And now all of a sudden, those 5 bases become a super big... Oh my gosh, both Ghosts get called... Okay, just one of them pays for it, but they do get called out there.
He picked off a few Zealots, and now SOS is moving in for the kill. He finds a couple of these Marines as well. You got to be so careful, Hero Marine, because Hero Marine needs to cherish every single Marine he has.
The army of Hero Marine just does not look nearly as impressive. That Liberator is up towards the front. He's going to join his friend in death. The Marines pull back, trying to do what they can. These force fields are getting kind of weird for me to call out because they're just so strange, but the Zealot's going to jump forward here, and they're going to go on top of this, but it's the Stalker count that's going to prove to be fatal here as they pick off a lot of those Marines. Now, some Marines are trying to reinforce, but there's actually a force over there as well.
I think he might just take the gold.
Yeah, I think you're
if he wants to play Zealot Stalker again, which... He's sending out this probe. I mean,
Caster Curse is real. Like, that makes logical sense, and I agree with you, and then he's like, no, of course not.
Might just be his 4th and his 5th base, though. I mean, if he played that style blue shift...
You know what's good to know is that when you commentate SOS, he doesn't know either. Is the best part. We're like, I think he's gonna take the gold there, and he's like, I don't know if I'm gonna take the gold there. Yeah, I am.
He needs to take out this prism. The mines, that's a lot of mines here. Top of all those zealots. That's a lot of zealots disappearing. I think this was really damn good start for Hero Marine.
I am really shocked that SOS is trying to force this issue. He's going to lose all those zealots. The Stalkers are just A-moving here, so they're shooting ineffectively into units that are getting healed. Immortal out by itself, but this army is actually pretty big for SOS and getting very simple. He's going to just fight inside the Liberator range here. He jumps on top of it. Stalkers blink forward. They're going to try to target down this Liberators. They do exactly that. And the Bioforce is getting whittled down, even if he somehow wins this fight. I don't know that he has the staying power to keep going. No, he doesn't.
There are people that trust you guys. You understand that? You have a responsibility to the people. And you guys are sitting
Geoff,
here.
could you counter one of my actual points here?
Dark is perhaps the best low econ scrambling Zerg in the history of Zerg.
Yeah.
You're predicting Has, whose strategy was mapped out to its absolute alpha stage 6 months ago. The guy, you know how people like keep your cards close. Has been like, no, here they all are, and people are like, do you have others? He's like, no, that's all of them, and they're like, well, what are you doing? He's like, I'm going to play the rest of the poker tournament showing everyone all my cards.
Hey, if
Dan's
you
over here
run well,
going, I think Phil Hellmuth could be confused by this tactic. I think, honestly, when you see that you have the worst hand, there's a chance you'll be like, well, I'll fold anyway.
Okay, so Dark's going to try to get into a position, try to deny this. Now, Haas is going to lose all of his workers here, so it's just important that Haas does damage as quickly as possible.
This is it. He has to go all in, I think. Like, he has to keep force fielding these units. He gets a lot of roaches here right off the bat. Look at Corrosive Bite. Oh my god. The Void Race goes so low, and there's so many Queens already ready there to basically snipe them. But does he really have to kill his own gateway to get out?
Yeah. Uh-oh. Is there anything to defend? Oh my god!
Oh my god, this is so sick.
This is so sick. He's just gonna lose the hatch. In fact, Dark just gives it to him.
Dark is just looking at this like going like, what the hell is going on right now? He would have killed like 10. Come on.
We supply block Dark though. Oh, careful. Oh, that's huge. Takes out so many Phoenixes.
Oh, he's gonna wait for it. Oh, wow.
Oh, he's gonna try to come in here and clean up the stunned units.
Yeah, the top chunk here of the Hydras is the one that's gonna be freed for
I don't know if this maths out favorably for Haas. Let's see how the engage actually goes down.
There's a lot of charge loss, but I mean, there's quite a few roaches.
Both Queens, he's all in.
Yeah, Dark adjusted so well. He made roaches to deal with the charge loss on the ground, and Haz is getting cleaned up here. He overextended for sure here by going for this, and he's still going for 2 more upgrades.
Wow, nice dodging by the Templars. Scary moment for those dudes.
They burrow so fast with that.
Look at Sweat Immortal. He's like, I thought I countered lurkers.
I gotta say, though, like my prediction was correct in every way except the technical way. So while it was technically incorrect, it was theoretically correct. It was emotionally correct. It was realistically correct.
It's being like, he would have won. Like,
Well,
come
if you
on.
look very closely at Haas, he's actually not Korean.
Is this the meme that's coming out of this tournament? Of all things. And then we got the bracket reveal as well.
Whoa, what? You timed that out really nicely.
Yeah, there you
Good. And then it goes, boop.
I like it because there's like the big shift and then the little scoot down to the bracket.
The little
reveal.
scoop.
reveal.
That's right. That's what they call me at home, the little scoop. Anyway, all right, we're going to
God.
go to a short break here, ladies and gentlemen. It's special, the Guardian of Guadalajara, and looking at how he's...
How do you come up with this?
That's what they call him, man.
That's what they call it. I've heard it
They
day in,
can't
day
stop
out.
calling him that. Well, dude.
And Nurture trying to use some links for counterattack there, but Special holds back with some reinforcements. Big overwhelming number of links here. The Banelings connect with a few units. They don't have speed just yet, so it's not the cleanest of engages for Nurture, but he does knock Special off in the middle of the map. And he is expecting Ultralisks here. Oh, those Banelings actually connecting quite nicely with the green. That's actually a nice engagement there for Nurture to start things off with.
He's always stimming, he's always running around, he's always moving around. So those fungal growths, the damage is going to be important as well.
Using a Viper of Duck to get out of the Liberator there. Great Baneling connection on those Marines. A counterattack here from Nurture. That's a planetary, but he dives on top of it and fungles the SCVs before they can repair. Great move there from Nurture. Can he get this planetary? It looks like the answer is yes.
Yeah, looks like he will just get it before those SCVs can make that crucial difference. So a good pickoff.
Nice little pickoffs there for Special.
Another
Queen.
Oh!
Rock part of town, sister.
Yeah, look at that. Picks it off immediately.
It could absolutely happen here. Oh, look. We got
watching
WCS there
someone
on the launcher. There you go.
This is the whole thing about StarCraft. It is a game of hard work.
Yeah.
Nobody comes into StarCraft and picks it up and is like, oh, I don't know, guys. I think I got it.
And I saw you practicing actually, and you were off racing against Neve, and you were playing Protoss. Does that help you to prepare in the TVP?
No, you just show Alex that Protoss is the imbalance race.
And you want even more than that if possible. That Immortal coming down to the low ground. Neeb wants to keep this Nexus alive. He can dedicate some shield battery energy to saving that, but he's got to get rid of those repairing SCVs if he wants to wear this down.
Oh, one cycle gets picked off. That's already a nice start for this defense for Neeb. But you're absolutely right, this Nexus needs to live. There's a one-base economy for the Terran as well, and a one-base Protoss is still quite scary, so he's not dead yet. But this is still quite rough. Gets the SCV.
Oh, the Cyclone took a lot of damage there as well. The Immortal getting focus fired, and actually Neeb starting to hemorrhage a few units. Another Immortal joins in though, and that's gonna be the end of this rush. The Nexus so low, Maynard. The Nexus is still up.
Does he saving it though? Just the last shot there. The SCV finished it off. Oh my god!
They're going to dive in there and are going to take down a few of these SCVs, but you do not want to lose these Immortals. They are,
oh, that's a mistake from Neeb for sure. TY is looking to end the game right here with the boys being pulled. The Marines in again, and they're going in for this fight. The Widowmine connects with the Archons and some of the Zealots here. Does Neeb hold on? Oh, so much Terran though!
He's engaging too far out here. Neeb getting ahead of himself, not realizing how dire the situation is. He now pulls back. He's got his own probes in the engage. If he can just hold on against this army, Neeb should be able to win this game.
Oh,
the Widowmine and the Banshees are down, but he's lost all the probes. He's only got the dregs of an army left. That, oh, they're going to come in. Of course, the
that's
probes as well.
Right there.
Yeah, if that Immortal production goes down, that's very bad. Look at that, the Vikings in the choke points there as well. Warp Prism has picked up some units, as well as the Void Ray coming back. That's going to do some very nice damage. The Vikings lift off, but the Void Ray's on top of them at that same time. A few force fields to try and hold on, but the Cyclones surrounding the natural expansion. Neeb's base is so exposed. TY re-lands the Vikings in the back of the main.
No way.
Beautiful multitasking. TY creating problems on all sides. Neeb struggling to keep up with this onslaught. The Cyclones just get out of dodge.
One of the absolute most handsome players in all of the world. It's Zest. But as you just pointed out, Zest just seems to have the number of SOS. In fact, so much so that Nick is beginning to believe that there could be something happening outside of the game that could actually be manipulating those results. This is going Archon drop here. Okay. But
he forgot the Archons.
He did forget the Archons. Big warp in here. Zealot's going to come in to join this force. There actually is an observer there, by the way. The Archon's way out of position.
I love the cannon in main base, because then he doesn't have to defend observer against DTs there.
Zest
actually, that cannon might just die.
Here. One Archon does die immediately.
He can warp in DTs now. Okay,
no,
the observers came back.
Yeah, there was an observer.
There might be some in natural then. I think he has only one observer.
Well, we'll have to wait and see here.
Zest trying to swarm SOS with charge loss all over the place. Double Immortal here in that location as well. Shield battery running out of energy already. And Zest might be doing it.
Yeah, he's doing it right now. The mineral line fight is going in the favor of Zest. He's up 20 supply. Most of that in army. The Immortals are chopped down. GG's called out, and SOS has had enough.
Sick.
They're both doing exactly the same thing, actually. Like,
what is going on?
So this Oracle shows up, and there's nothing here. This could just be GG, like almost immediately. You can go back to the shield battery, that's fine. A couple of stalkers are actually blocked out. They will get back in. The missed mining time alone in a mirror matchup is bad, but it's a mirror build in a mirror matchup, guys. And he's actually going to just, at least for now, sack the Oracle and just go for kills.
12 probes.
So this is that weird part of the commentary where, for us as commentators, he's super dead, but we have to stop mentioning it because it gets repetitive. So we'll just be like, well, what if he, you know, traps the whole army and that SOS just like disconnects or something? That happens. All right. Wow. And a huge shout out to Maynard, of course, for playing this guitar solo. A lot of people have been asking where this music came from. You can check him out at Maynard on Twitch.
He got a good look at this army. Does he think he can break it? He's going to go for it anyway. Here we go.
And the attack is on. Archon's kind of leading the charge. You're not getting great shots. Kiting backwards is Zest. Not bad work by him. The Adepts trying to find their area of surface, and they are getting some of that, but the two Immortals in the back there, so powerful, and pushing back a little bit here is Zest. He's going to try to shade in, but it's going to be blocked here by Zest with his own little concave, zeroing out a big chunk of the army, and he does just that. He gets an Immortal by itself, and now he's taking the fight over here in the left flank.
SOS is so smart. He sees this base overlay here, and he knows that if he keeps on using force fields, he might be able to section parts of this army away and keep on dealing with it as well as he can.
Army supply getting to be a little bit favored here of Zest. Of course, as I said, he loses 8 supply.
Yeah, the move to go for sentries here and sectioning so much of this army was, I think, maybe the winning move. SOS was so smart, and I think he's going to be rewarded for it here with a big win against one of his nemesis, potentially. But Zest, Archon's finally coming and started defending.
The Warp Prism Micro might be tipping this over in his favor. Made a really intelligent decision switching into this style for him too.
Oh my God! Oh no! Losing the Prism in a single Archon.
Take out just one of these overlords. Oh, Showtime.
That would have been a really great.
Okay. But that might not even be a factor here as these lurkers come in.
Well, he does have Psystorm this time, right? So that is definitely going to be very, very helpful. A ton of great Psystorms going down on these lurkers.
And you can see with Psystorms like that, actually Dark losing so much. There are still a small number of lurkers, but it looks like somehow Showtime is holding off everything from every angle. Beautifully done there by Showtime.
It looks like, though, Showtime so far, pretty good setup for defense, but now a great surround. All these Immortals are going to disappear in a matter of seconds.
Yeah, really nice move right there from Dark, but the force fields come down, some Psystorms as well. He's going to bruise and batter this army as it backs up. Another attack hitting this fourth base. That is the more important area. He cannot be losing it.
He's going to try to come in here now. Showtime might be able to drive this away, but not before all these workers are going to be killed. Meanwhile, another attack coming over here towards a natural. Even though Showtime held off everything earlier, Dark is not finished.
Dark's multitasking out of control right now, hitting multiple areas. Look at this, 17, 18 probes falling, but Showtime is splitting his units well. Afraid of Duct as well on that expensive Tempest.
Dark is such a god. Look at this. And the probe is coming back in to try and confirm what the follow-up is. And good hiding here by Special. But Classic knows. Oh, no, he doesn't. He's not going to scout that.
Oh my goodness.
Oh, you're kidding me.
This Viking is going to be in a little bit of trouble. There is a Phoenix, and that's not a fight that the Viking wants to take. The Phoenix can obviously lift the Viking as well. It's like, why don't you go back into the air? That's going to land probably on the other side, and one Phoenix is not going to be able to kill it. I mean, he's keeping Classic busy, right? This is obviously nice. I don't think you want to have the Mind connect with the Phoenix, but you definitely want to have it connect with the Oracle.
Hey, that's a big triple drop in the main base right now. Oh, the armor upgrade not quite finished. Perfect timing on that snipe there from Special. A lot of Terran players would overextend here and get surrounded and flanked, but oh my lord, Classic's coming in. He starts to drop the storms on the siege tanks. The bio's spreading backwards very nicely, but a second wave of storm drop coming in, and they land all over the bio. But the tanks, the Marines, the Marauders are trading out about as well as they could considering the circumstances. That Prism's still a huge threat, as is the Disruptor.
The Special have enough at home to defend against this terrifying Protoss army.
Oh, the Prism coming forward again. The storm drops land and all the bio deep in the red. That is a ton of siege tanks, but the Immortals getting in on them, starting to do damage. The tank splash, though. The tank splash, Roddy. This was not the place for Classic to engage. That Protoss army just evaporated.
Normally you're not supposed to be able to engage this, and I have no idea how Classic is supposed to engage this. He's still gonna try though. He's gonna blink to the right side. He's gonna land a couple storms, but there are still so many tanks in the back.
Pull back. He's got to pull back. You can't break this line. Classic's gonna go for the Immortal drop on the tanks with the Speed Prism. Wow, those two Immortals just killed 6 siege tanks between the pair of them. Classic breaks the tank line.
Classic can land some godlike storms. We know that he's capable of it. Can we get some EMP, some special? Oh my goodness.
My lord, the mother of all storms lands in the middle of that Terran army. The bio is heavily bruised. Oh, Special spotted the Prism, but it's coming in, and the storms land all over that army. The Marines and Marauders evaporating. Special, though, manages to pull a lot of his bio to the bottom right. The tanks on the left destroy the left-hand side of Classic's force. He doesn't have any storms left in there. A reinforcement of Zealots come in.
Oh my goodness.
Last storm lands. Special has to withdraw to the tank line, and he will maintain the position on the map. The Zealots are coming in right now. He's got to repair that.
I love the Stalkers trying to block the SCVs as well from repairing this planetary. The SCVs are repairing the planetary though. Can Special keep it alive? No, he cannot. But quite a few Zealots did go down. There are no storms available here. This is working out in a fantastic way so far for the Mexican Terran players. Classic is so far out of position. He's not ready to deal with this. This allows the mines to go down in a very, very dangerous spot as well. Maybe allows the siege tank to siege up. Classic is gonna need the hold of his life to keep his BlizzCon dreams alive.
Sacrifices the Oracle to take the Widow Mine in on a friendly fire trip. The Kamikaze Oracle does end up falling. It damages a lot of the Terran units. These next Widow Mines, some shots landing, but good splits by Classic, and that Immortal gonna be the savior of the day. Takes down those Cyclones, takes down the Siege Tank. We see that drop on the left-hand side, about to get intercepted. It actually skimmed through the Watchtower vision on those Gateway units, but there's still a lot of Storm in that army. He snapped the War Prism. Special takes the splash damage out of the Protoss force, and he wants to try and take the fight here, but his army is heavily bruised from the Stimpaks. He's going to keep on fighting. Does he have the numbers? Classic Zealot count is dwindling. The Liberator's sieging ahead, and his Special done it with one ballsy maneuver. He just might have brought it down.
The Immortals are going down. The Zealots are not here anymore. The majority of the Stalkers have been picked off as well. A few more Zealots are starting to show up, but Special sniping that War Prism with 3 High Templars inside of it that may have just done it, Pick.
That was an amazing move and a decisive push to follow it up.
And just in case you've never seen a bracket, here's a bracket.
Ooh.
Wow.
Look
James
at
just
that.
spoke. It's 3.
Can you
turns, 2
imagine
Protoss.
at the end that bracket is going to be filled in with names everywhere?
I appreciate the correction and control. Well done.
It was killing me.
There you go. There you go. That's fine.
That's a bracket.
That's a bracket.
And that's the trophy.
No, one at a time.
Okay, good. I was going to say.
Calm down and control. Maru versus SOS is going to be our first match in the round of 8.
That is the side of the bracket that SOS wanted, guys. I'm so sorry that my prediction is so
You
likely
think he's
to
beating
become-
Maru?
He wanted that side?
Yeah.
Are you serious?
This is SOS we're talking about.
Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen around the world, for tuning in to opening week. The group stage was great, but the bracket is going to be even better. Join us 2nd and 3rd of November as BlizzCon rolls around for the 2018 WCS Global Finals.